Alright, chat, bear with me real quick. We're just getting Cameron everything set up for this unboxing. We finally got the Hearth and Home Midtown Sweet Cask, so one of the very last of Sutliff's kind of actual makings here of the 150 years that this company's been in business, and it's just being wiped out by STG, and it's just so fucking sad. So I had to get my hands on some of this. Just like I have on the Aaron Go Bragg Apple Crumble, my next goal is going to get some of the Irish Cream from the Aaron Go Bragg, because I do believe that has been rumored that's going to be the next one that gets discontinued. So I've just been trying to kind of go by whichever ones are going to get discontinued next, and I'm trying to like grab them as I can, chat. So alrighty, chat. Let's go ahead and go with that one. All right, we got this angle here going. How we doing, everybody? How we doing? Let's go ahead, extend the music for a bit here. I do also apologize. I was kind of caught up looking at this awesome catalog we finally got given by Pipes and Cigars. I thought that was awesome. Oh, it even has like our customer number, everything like that on there. That's cool. That's cool. So, extending that stuff. The Barasini stuff they got down there on the bottom, that was super nice. I didn't realize that some people do still use a Tuscany pipe with the tobacco in it like that. Because my brain just says, well, it's made for a Toscano cigar, which they actually have some ones in here, so I can actually show you guys. This is what's meant to be in a Tuscany pipe. Those types of cigars, okay, you stuff them in those pieces like that. We got some nice ones. I really love the HCA Sandblast, by this way, by Stanwell. Looks like a calabash there. Real nice Sherlock Holmes style pipe. Yeah, the auto ship thing talking about in there. Dude, okay, this is the other thing I really like. Okay, so they have the Lane Limited, but it actually tells me all the flavorings. Where is it? Oh, bestseller, RLP6, vanilla and caramel. There's supposed to be chocolate in that as well, too. Maybe that's because of the burley, probably. The burley probably brings out the cocoa. You have vanilla and honey on the 1Q. BCA is vanilla and fruit. What the fuck fruit are you talking about? There's no fruit in BCA. A light vanilla, LL7 vanilla, mellow, and caramel. Ooh, that does sound really good. Hazelnut is just hazelnut. Oh, black raspberry. They're using a raspberry flavoring. That sounds delicious. HS3 vanilla and nuts. Yeah, it's hazelnut. Ooh, buttered rum is just vanilla and caramel added. And BLWB is cocoa and vanilla. Ooh, and it's just a burley blend. Okay, okay. It's funny. It says 11.49 here for the Colt Blood Red Moon. Right now, it is on sale for $10 on their website. Chat. So yeah, we got this catalog, and I was just looking through all this stuff here. I thought it was great to see all this too. Let's see here. I wanted to show. They also have a good selection of their samplers, and they show that they're a cigar sampler. Like they have the gold standards, the Gurkha Gold XOs. You get quite a bit of those guys, and it's about $110. Normally, it's a $408 option that they're giving it to you for $110. And that, again, for those cigars, those are fucking some of the world's best cigars right there, chat. So, I mean, you got find your favorites here. Oh man, look at these Savinellis. Oh. So this is what I mean. This is what I love. This is what I love about pipe stuff like this, man. Getting to look at all this type of stuff, chat. You know, it's so funny too when we had all these stupid kids come in and be like, "Oh, what the fuck is you talking about pipes and stuff like that?" So, yo, what's up, Crucial? How's it going, fam? Looking at this catalog real quick here before we bust into the box. Looking at this pipes and cigars catalog I was given today. Finally, it's got all these awesome tobaccos that they got in here. They got some good sales on some cigars too. Actually, there's a few cigars I really want to grab in there. Oh my gosh, my sinuses! I got in the fucking cold. Yeah.
Yeah, I identify as a cat. I'm a furry. No, I'm not. Shut up. You just said you identify as a cat.
Oh yeah, they got their.
Look at your cat box, bro. Yeah. Please scoop it.
Ooh, metal pipe covers. Those actually look like that would be action, and it actually has a twist on it too. Ooh, that's nice.
That's more than enough. I need more.
Yeah, top shelf humidor combo. You get some Mark Twain, Macanudos, Arganese, HC. I think this is what a Village, Toronto's. Oh, you got a fucking Big Moose in there. Yeah, wow, you gotta fuck that whole thing up by throwing that dumbass one in there. And McQueen pipes, man, they don't even have those on the site right now. Like the Wizard Briar totally would buy that right now, chat. So, but again, do love that they sent me a catalog finally, because I do enjoy looking at all the different types of tobacco stuff. So also, after we do a bowl of this guy, I do probably want to smoke this guy to wrap up the video. So we're doing a small stream today, like I said, guys. It's going to be a small one. And just kind of talk about premium tobaccos, things like that. We got the Peterson ready to load up some of this tobacco once we get it all good to go. So it's ready to go. So we got our knife. Alright, chat. They always give out so many coupons as well, too, chat. If anybody hasn't used DoorDash, let me know. I'll give you a 40% off coupon. How about that?
I have DoorDash.
If you haven't used it, For first-time customers, dweeb.
Oh, well, I can be a first-time customer.
I've never used one.
Mom's usually dweeb.
You didn't ask for a couple.
Then, of course, they always give us 10% off, 15% off orders site-wide. And then Borkum Riff, I should say. 15% off cans and pouches. I do want to try out a lot of the Borkum Riff. So they got these guys on sale, chat. Their tobacco always looks good. I do have their, I think theirs is on one of the next months. Not next month, there's going to be Viking Pipes is next month for February, chat. Of the calendar here. And that's what the sale is going to be for February. March is going to be Smoker's Pride, and I don't know. I might skip on that one for the tobacco one because I don't know. I have some vanilla Cavendish by Smoker's Pride, and it's a good tobacco. Don't get me wrong. Like I have it down here in my cellar underneath my bed, and I literally have this big ass jar of it still, and it's a good tobacco. Don't get me wrong. Like if you want something bulk and you want like a cheap bulk, mind you, do it online. Don't go to like a Big Smoke like or something like that. Tobacco Connection, Bad Habit, whatever the case is. You go in for this fucking bag like I did, it's fucking $30-$40 for the bag. Online, I've seen it was as low as $16 for the same fucking 12-ounce bag. I spent $30 on. A little annoying. Absolutely smells amazing though, chat. Look at that though.
Not ordering anything, that's for sure.
I also got a burger I can eat, so I'm good.
Because I really need to,
Okay.
I mean, I don't care.
Where do you think he is? I got a full bowl.
Smoke. No, he just let me know so that he's got something.
Yeah.
I know.
I said, I know.
I have one cheeseburger. You still got some nuggets. And then we got some ramen and stuff like that too.
Yeah, there is food. There's just nothing in the freezer.
Yeah, so this has actually gotten better over time.
Jesus. No wonder we don't have dogs.
This is mine.
No wonder you don't have dogs.
That's just the vanilla Cavendish. That was that.
Is that the one that had the soup mix in it?
Yep.
Is that the one that was in that big blue bag?
No, actually, there's one that had the soup mix.
Yeah.
No. This was the. I bought this one. This was the only ball jar I bought. It's fucking expensive too. It was like $8.
Yeah, balls are.
But because Shauna bought me one from Dollar
Masons
Tree.
are kind of like the anchor of.
Because Shauna bought me the one from Dollar Tree, and like it's okay like this, but like this has that official like actual.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like good solid glass. Let's smell. Let's get up.
The one that was in the big blue bag?
Yep, this was the big blue bag one. Yeah, see, even the family all likes to smell this one, chat. But, like, literally, one of the things, though, I gotta say, though, is that ball jars are, yeah, very expensive, man. But there's a reason for that. They are fucking solid glass. I don't feel like as this one is as sturdy. Yeah, no, that's definitely not as sturdy. This is Dollar Tree special glass right here. $1.25 technically, because they don't fucking sell things for $1 anymore. It's $1.25 or more. Or more. There's some things that are like $3, $5, $10. It's kind of fucking weird to call it a Dollar Tree now. And you don't have things just $1 anymore. But I have my Ashton Smooth Sailing in here, which this finally just got restocked on Pipes and Cigars. Thankfully, because, dude, this is a good blend of tobacco that has some Latakia in it for an aromatic. And I actually really fucking love it. But let's get into the main attraction, right? These beautiful blue packaging. No, I'm just kidding. I prefer this over the fucking bubble wrap, but I fucking hate these as well because they're so loud when they pop. Here, you can annoy mom.
No, don't. She scares the cats with these.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
You scare me with them.
Good.
No.
Yep, see what I mean?
Nina.
Oh my gosh, fucking nose,
Oh.
dude.
Look where it landed.
Fucking hate sodas. All right,
Get another one.
Hearth and Home
For free.
Midtown Series.
So when I worked at
The blend is Sweet Cask. This is supposed to be their replacement, or it was their replacement for Sutliff's Sugar Barrel. That also got discontinued. Hearth and Home Midtown Sweet Cask has been created to replace a classic American blend that has recently disappeared. Sadly enough, so is this now. Literally, chat, this is now gone. I got literally one of the last 3 barrels of this left. Or tubs, whatever you want to call it, right? So a lot of us calling them barrels because they had the barrels on them, right? But so the last of the 3 tubs. Now, funny enough, I thought this had a blue lid on it. It has a black lid. Whatever. I'm cool with that. It was kind of funny. Online, it had a blue lid for this guy. But my thing, though, about this is that STG has been removing Sutliff blends from fucking all of existence, right? And so the problem with that being is that with stuff like this being removed out of existence is that we lose something that has been around for nearly 150 years, chat. I had to move stuff out of the way here for my tobacco here.
If you would put it in the damn toaster oven, trays on the table. That's not my fault.
So, there's a specific reason why I wanted to get this tobacco. And one of the main reasons for it is because its flavoring is supposed to be that of cinnamon. Cinnamon and brown sugar. Not just the regular like tobacco sugar that they use, or like the sugar water that they use. That's what we always jokingly call the tobacco sugar, because it just brings out the natural sugars in the tobacco itself more. But when they put brown sugar and cinnamon with this, I mean, it kind of mimics the vibe that I had from this one here. The one that's on that beautiful door right there, as you guys can see. That guy. This one right here, Aaron Go Bragg. Apple Crumble. And this is such a good blend of tobacco. This is mainly a burley base with a little bit of black Cavendish and a tiny bit of Virginia. It's mixed with some baking spices, chat. So this has been a solid blend of tobacco. I love this one. But this, again, is one of the last of a Sutliff blend that is no longer made. It smells so fucking good. And it's such a good quality tobacco, too. And you can actually see, especially on some of these flakes, the little sugar crystals on it. It's almost like the THC crystals on a cannabis plant, right? But instead, these are actual sugar crystals that you're seeing from the actual natural sugar coming out from the tobacco in all of its beautiful glory. So, that being said, this gentle smoking blend of smooth white burley and bright Virginia is enhanced with a mildly sweet flavor that never overpowers the natural tobacco goodness. Enjoy this new version of an old favorite at a much friendlier price. And it actually has Russ Olet's signature on the back, and it is Sweet Cask Pipe Tobacco by Hearth and Home Midtown Series. This is the very last of a Sutliff blend. So, wow. I'm actually surprised by this, chat. I've never seen that before on any tobacco that I've ever bought. It's never been like sealed like this. There's always like, so let me show you guys. So like, for instance, if you buy a John Middleton tobacco, like the Carter Hall, Prince Albert, again, you know, if you guys have ever watched the original It from the the TV series one, right? The one that was on the TV show, or what was it, ABC or whatever it was, fucking up all things. When he goes, "Do you have Prince Albert in a can? Then maybe you should let him out." Like, yeah, that's because this used to come in an actual metal can, way back in the fucking days. If anybody can ever like find one and you don't want it or whatever reason, please totally like hit me up and I will gladly get that off your hands, because I will pay the shipping and handling if I have to, because I would love to get an actual original Prince Albert metal can, because that would be so sick to have. But ideally, though, both Prince Albert and Carter Hall, which Prince Albert used to be made by Philip Morris, Marble, and I do believe Carter Hall used to be made by R.J. Reynolds back in the day, which is Camel. But both of them got sold when they were just, consolidating all their tobaccos, and, Philip and RJ and all of them wanted to do mainly cigarettes, and then these guys were like, hey, we want to keep that tobacco alive, so give it to us. And this was John Middleton who actually bought this. Actually, I do believe before it went to John Middleton on Carter Halls, it actually transferred over between 2 or 3 hands before it finally got to John Middleton. Whereas with Prince Albert, it literally went from Philip Morris to John Middleton. That's the company that bought it right away. Now, the thing is, though, is John Middleton tobacco used to be made here in America. Sadly enough, though, now it is made in the Dominican Republic. However, though, I would argue, though, that Dominican Republic tobacco is still fucking really good. It makes some of my favorite cigars next to Nicaragua. Nicaragua makes my absolute favorites. I'm of the mind of Pepin Garcia, literally a Cuban, refugee who fled during the dictator, rise of Fidel during Cuba's problems. When he literally said, I'm gonna replace what's his face, who was supposed to be the last dictator Cuba would ever see, and then fucking there he goes, fucking Fidel, right? So Fidel was literally just a horrible dictator, but legitimately though, Pepin Garcia, who does his the My Father cigars in Nicaragua, says that Nicaragua produces the best cigars in the entire world. I will believe him over, I'm sorry, what is his name, the Robina guy, Hiroshio Robina, I can't remember his name. It's in the hand rolled video that I've played on here quite a few times, chat. We'll have to play it again to show you guys who I'm talking about, but he claims that Cuba still makes the best cigars overall. Pepin Garcia says no, it's Nicaragua. I go with Pepin Garcia. I mean, My Fathers are my favorite cigars. So, but back to the pipe tobacco though, these guys were only sealed by this little piece of white paper. That's it. That's how these come packaged. They'll have the thing on top. You open it up, boom, that's it. There's no freshness seal like this. This is cool. I like this. And again, too, chat, there's so much history and so much lore to tobacco. And you guys know me, I love my lore. I'm a lore hound. I love all the types of stuff that it has. Anything that has lore to it, I'm always like, oh, hey, let's get into that, right? That's why I love, Elder Scrolls. That's why I love, all these other things like that. Like my mom made the joke of calling me a lore whore, which I'm glad. I'm sure you guys can hear because, sadly enough, I don't know why, but that microphone picks up like a fucking mouse's fart at this point. I don't know what the hell is wrong with the MacBook, but it is like overly sensitive with that microphone. No, you're good. I've noticed that it's picking up everything. Even if I'm just touching my desk, it's picking that up right now. And it's got a shock mount. It's not supposed to do that. It has a shock mount for a reason. It's not a shock collar. It's not Kaya. My name's not Hassan Piker. But we're finally going to bust into this, chat. I'm so excited to. Well, let me go show them this. This is what, so I don't know if he's got the stream up. So I don't know if you guys have it up or not, but so you can see it. This is what I'm talking about. I've never had one come like this.
Yeah, no, and that's filled right to the very top.
Yeah, big chat. Look at that.
Sister, let me touch it.
It really is. It's like that seal too.
Really?
No, I mean like it's not like the card ones. That's what I'm making kind of like where it's just a card over it. That's freshness sealed. I've never had one that's like other than the only thing that would maybe come close to this is let me grab the
It feels like a really expensive breast
a really expensive breast implant. How would you know what that feels like, sister? Exactly.
Yeah.
Fucking
I mean,
this fucking kid.
You have to love your baby sister.
Do I?
Wow. She's like, no, and he's like, do I?
I love her. She knows it. All right.
So sure.
So, the only thing that comes sealed, like probably as close to that Hearth and Home, is my Cornell and Deal. So they have these like I call them tuna lids. This is what I call these. I call these the tuna cans because they literally have like that pullback seal that you have on a tuna can. But then they have the nice little plastic top to reseal it. That's what we have in here. This is an already open one, so that way you guys can see what happens after you open it. After you open it, you get one of those cards. Vintage blends. Selected hand-blended tobaccos for the discriminating smoker. Because we do discriminate.
Hold up, wait a minute, let me put some church in it.
Like, I will not lie. I think that it's kind of funny, like, the use of the word discriminate has such a bad connotation nowadays. But as a pipe smoker, you do discriminate over your tobaccos. You're like, no, that's not a good tobacco. That's not a good tobacco. That's a good tobacco. Like, that's kind of how you act. The maple that comes through with the scotch, It overpowers the vanilla, but just slightly.
Thank you.
It just smells so good. It smells like breakfast in a can.
Damn, they just make it so messy.
Wow, you can play that chocolate before?
No, there's like chocolate, caramel, and whipped cream.
Yeah,
all-
yeah, no, I have chocolate all over my fucking Coke. It was all over the lid of my my Coke.
Chocolate Coke.
I wish it would have been a chocolate Coke.
that there.
You can't even ask McDonald's for something like that. We only made those at Jack in the Box.
Cracked in a box.
So if you guys ever had the ability to actually make yourself a chocolate Coke, it is actually really good. You just add chocolate syrup to a Coca-Cola, but it needs to be Hershey's chocolate syrup. It cannot be Nesquik. It can't be any of the other ones. It has to be Hershey's. For whatever reason, it's the only chocolate that whenever you add it to a Coca-Cola, it makes it taste like a York's peppermint patty. And I gotta say, that's pretty fucking cool, and it's pretty tasty. So, all right, we're gonna peel off this freshness thing now. Oh, damn it. Okay, some of the tobacco's sticking to it. You guys know me. I don't like to lose my tobacco like that. I don't want to lose any flakes. I'm not even joking. Not even a fucking flake do I want to lose of this shit. This is like fucking literally gold at this point. Right? It's a discontinued tobacco. Let's say you're at the end times, right? Fucking doomsday times, and you're fucking a doomsday prepper, and you're trading for some fucking food or some water or fucking some bullets or some shit like that. You know how valuable tobacco will be? Like, trust me, that shit will be it's its weight in gold. There's gonna be enough people that smoke during the apocalypse. I guarantee you, they're gonna be like, dude, I need some tobacco. You got tobacco? Cool. I will give you 5 bullets for a bowl of tobacco. Like, I guarantee fucking to you, it'll be Fallout status. Wow. This also looks like I just opened up a barrel of the long bottom leaf from the Two Towers when they are at the is it the end of the Two Towers? Yeah, it's the end of the Two Towers when he finds the barrels. And you say about how he just wants a good food, and then all of a sudden they find the 2 barrels of fucking long bottom leaf. Look at that. Tell me that does not look like the long bottom leaf. Look at that.
It doesn't look like a long bottom leaf.
It's got a natural tobacco smell to it, but it still has like a pastry that I've had before. I hear my fucking mouth. Ugh. I can smell the cinnamon. I can actually smell that cinnamon, and it's like there's a fucking smell of a sugary treat that you have as a kid, and I can't think of it right now.
Rice Krispie treat?
No, I said it's a cinnamon, not a candy, but and it's not like it's not a fucking cinnamon roll or anything like that. It's hold on, there's the natural tobacco smell, but if you smell deep enough, you'll smell it. You gotta really smell deep.
Ew, I don't want to smell it deep.
Because there's a natural tobacco smell you'll smell, and then give it another smell too. You gotta do like that, like constant, like smell where you get more and more notes as you smell it and keep going. Notice how it's changing a little bit there, a little bit, the notes. You get the natural tobacco in the first note. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like a cinnamon cookie.
Snickerdoodle.
Is it like a snickerdoodle? Is that what I'm smelling?
Snickerdoodle. The cinnamony. Yeah, that's snickerdoodle.
Yeah, I guess it's snickerdoodle is what we're smelling, I guess. It smells fucking delicious. All right, we're gonna let up the Peterson pipe. Oh, this feels nice too. It's got a nice fluffiness to it. It's not overly moist either, so it should burn perfectly in the pipe. Oh man, I'm loving the way this is going in. Ooh, love that. Look at those big pieces of leaf. Still got some of the vein in it too. It's all veiny. Giggity. But tell me, this doesn't remind you when you were to play the Two Towers right now, right? You go to the extended cut, you go to the end of it, where Mary and Pippin find the barrels, and you open it up, and it looks like that. Like, look at that.
Yeah.
Big old pieces of leaf. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the actual long bottom leaf right there. which I wish we could get. It's not in stock at the moment, but I know that there is a couple places that make long bottom leaf. I would love if anybody knows where to get a jar or a tin of any Frog Morton, if it's still in existence anywhere. It has been discontinued thanks to the, unfortunately, the Tolkien estate, who was like, no, you're not allowed to call things like this. And it's like, dude, come on. It's a way to honor your grandfather, your father, whoever at that point, whoever is like, in charge of the Tolkien estate. It's like, dude, like everybody that's doing these things in honor of them, it was not doing it to try to like make money off just that name. Like, and they don't make their own tobaccos. You know what I mean? Like if they had their own tobacco lines, then I could understand it, but they don't. Like getting some Rivendell or some Old Toby from Country Squire would be so good. Yeah, now it's called Tom Bigby. Old Tom. And here we go. Mashing down some more of this tobacco in here. I want a good healthy bowl of it, chat. I've been dying for this tobacco. Like literally, I've like been hounding the shipping the entire time. Out of all the kinds I've had, where like of all the tobaccos I've had so far, I'm like, all right, well, I got all this already. I don't have to worry about this or that. I just want to make sure I get it in. And be there for it, all that kind of stuff like that. Especially when we've had it set for it's supposed to be signed for. Because this is tobacco, mind you. So again, what if I wasn't an adult and I had somehow bypassed all the websites, things and stuff, and it just got shipped to the house? They just deliver it to your door, man. Like that's one thing I will say. They do need to start actually like IDing me. I literally stand there ready for my ID. Like all right, cool. To check my ID, it's tobacco. And then it makes me think too, like, how do they do that with the drone in like illegal weed states where they do like the drone drop offs? Does the drone fucking scan your ID before it releases the fucking weed? No. So who's to say you can't? Your kid doesn't use your fucking account and get the drone to drop the weed off at your house? You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying, man. Some of these things need to be better in place. As a person who's buying tobacco online, I want that that security there so that I don't have to worry about, oh, we're going to use this as a reason to fucking get rid of it. It's like, okay, if you would have just fucking scanned my fucking ID like you're supposed to, USPS. It's like, but I don't want to be in charge of doing that now. Well, fuck off. Like, sorry, you don't want to deal with that part of your job. It's like they are government agents, though. Ah, here we go. Yep, distributed by M&D Wholesale, just like the back of the back of these guys right here. Distributed by M&D Wholesale. 1.5 pipe tobacco, like literally 1.5 ounces in these bags. That's what they gave me. That's why I took 3 of those bags to fill that jar up. So there's a tax class L, and it is in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania that this was made originally. It is no more, sadly. I love the artwork on it, though. It's very classic. And it's funny, too, because I feel like this is maybe a little bit... It's smaller in width than this guy. It is taller, though. Okay. It is significantly taller. Yeah. But both of these are 14 ounces. Like that Prince Albert right here, 14 ounces of tobacco right here. Carter Hall, 14 ounces of tobacco. So... And I know there's some of you that's like, dude, you have so much tobacco. How could you need more tobacco? You can never have enough tobacco. You really can't. Especially like I said, once you get to a certain point when it becomes its actual weight in gold, like, oof, bro, that's gonna be a hell of a day. All right, oh shit, I think I left it in my jacket. I think I did. Okay, hold on. Be right back.
So are you.
For you. She not good with Daffy Duck. Daffy Duck.
She did.
Out of
I
anger.
look at shit in my picture.
I wanted my Zippo chat.
No, if you pop over.
Shemeen.
So far, just off the charring light, that is a really good tasting tobacco. This gives me more like baked goods taste than the Aaron Go Bragg one did. It's kind of funny. All right, let's just go ahead and use a Bic on this next one here. That is a good tobacco. Wow. Mm.
Who? Bun Bun.
Mm. There's not a lot of moisture to it too, so you can taste that more drier smoke taste to it. Mm. Mm.
Why is this one in the shape of a fetus?
Mm.
Wow.
Look! In the shape of a fetus.
I gotta say, chat,
Fetus? Is that what you call them?
that is a very, very smooth smoke. Mm. That is a classic smoke right there, chat. Mm. Like when I think of a good tobacco that you want to smoke like day in day out, like if this was all you had to choose, this would be a great choice. It's a shame that is all there is in existence now. I mean, you can still get Carter Hall, you can still get Prince Albert. They're not the same as this, I won't lie. This has got a very uniqueness to it. I don't know how I want to describe that either. I'm trying to figure out a good spot for that because it doesn't have the same bottom to it like the other ones do, where these guys can actually like lock in on their heads. They have these little. I was like, it's kind of a pain in the ass. It kind of sits like that. So. Mm. Ooh, that retro hill, pure snickerdoodle cookie. As soon as I blew it out the nose and then blew it out the mouth, all I could taste was like literally cinnamon, brown sugar on like a piece of fucking perfect cookie dough. Mm. It is amazing how you can make tobacco taste like that. You know, most people would probably think that it's like there's just no way you can make tobacco taste like a dessert or like fruit or all this other stuff. I've seen tobacco that has banana and cream on it. I'm like, that sounds delicious too.
Banana cream pie.
Yeah, there's a tobacco that's supposed to taste like that. There's a banana cream pudding one, and then there's a banana cream pie one. That Boston cream pie was really good from that one that mom bought. Oh yeah, also Sparks. I decided. Actually, let me do this one. To have this installed as well too. So I figured this would be a good game to have installed. For those that don't know, we were actually talking about this the other day. This, in my opinion, is the much better version of Deus Ex. This is the original Deus Ex. This is the Game of the Year edition. This was in, what, 2001, I want to say this game was released? 2000. June 22nd, 2000. Yeah, the year is 2052, and the world is dangerous and chaotic place. Terrorists operate openly, killing thousands. Drugs, disease, and pollution kill even more. The world's economies are close to collapse, and the gap between the insanely wealthy and the desperately poor grows even wider. Such a good game. Such a good game. Oh yeah, Deus Ex Invisible War. I do forget about this one. Yeah, it is mixed for a reason though. It was never as good. Yeah, 20 years after the Deus Ex, the world is only beginning to recover after the catastrophic worldwide depression. The sector nightmare take part in the dark struggle to raise the world from its own ashes. It was definitely not loved. Deus Ex: The Fall. I remember this. Yeah, mostly negative is the fucking reviews on this one. In the year 2027, literally next year, golden era for science, technology, and human augmentation, but also a time for great social divide. Global conspiracy, powerful corporations have seized control of governments and command the drug supply needed by augmented humans to survive.
I lost everything I was.
If I'm not mistaken, though, this was actually the prelude to the one we get later on here, the human revolution. Because I have mankind divided. I don't have human revolution though. Yeah, I have this one. This one's on my Epic Games, though.
If you try and rip the world apart, someone will always put it back together. You can kill dreams.
Again, it's a good game. Don't get me wrong. Good game. But this, in my opinion, way better. And it's completely different. It's a completely different ball game from what we've been playing too. I also want to finish up Detroit Become Human. This was definitely a fun game to play. I also about picking up Heavy Rain because it was only $2. So that's been a big thought process right now. I was like, we also need to finish up the Ascent. I haven't finished it all the way up yet. We got the heist I need to do still. I know Fox would decided to go ahead of me and just go ahead and do it himself, which I totally understand. Because he was probably like, fuck this, I'm not waiting any longer. I want to see how this game looks and ends and stuff like that. So totally understandable. Plus, we got Elder Scrolls Online I want to get more into again. They're going to be adding seasons to the Elder Scrolls Online. Oh, man. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, we already have stuff that's like seasons as it is, dude. Why do we need to add seasons to it? I also do have this, if anybody ever wants to play. Golf with Your Friends is a super fun game. Also, High on Life 2 coming out, I do believe, this year. I do believe. Yeah, I have High on Life as well.
Babe, what's wrong?
Yeah, it comes out the day before, what should we call it? Valentine's Day, the next month. So, I will definitely be grabbing this game. How much do I got to pre-purchase it for? $60? Okay. Because literally, I had to. That's literally the day before the day I had to make sure I get my rent paid by, as well. So we'll probably do both. I'll probably make sure my boss lets me, or my ex-boss let me cash my last check a couple days ahead of time, so I can pre-order High on Life 2. That'll be my way to celebrate the one last month of not working before I had to go grab a job. And I'm honestly probably just going to look for something part-time. Enough to try to help, you know, just make sure we have enough money to pay the rent, everything like that. But so we can still try to focus on trying to make flashy and everything else like that more, you know, prominent and hype up, build up all that stuff like that. I would love for us to be able to do the content creation full time. That is the biggest goal, but I just don't know if with Flashy constantly having issues like this right now, it's being really hard and difficult because I need it to be able to stay stagnant, you know, not stagnant, but stable. And the fact that literally we got the stream yesterday and then today, now streams are gone again. It's like instead of taking the streaming off, just ban the people who are screwing it up. That's what you gotta do. Stop turning it off. Stop making it temporary. Do whatever you can do to just leave it alone. Like, just leave it be. That's all they gotta do. They gotta stop messing with the streaming because it's just gonna constantly make people want to leave. And I don't want that to happen. I want Flashy to be as successful as possible too. I really do. I want it to succeed farther than anything else has. Yeah, some of the new bosses, new fighting areas, dude, looks so cool. And that Murdoch, I want to say is his name. You got Sweezy and Knifey right there. Creature. Gus.
I'm sorry. I've just been so depressed lately.
You know, it would fix everything. Humanzaprom.
The music for this game sounds so badass already too. And you can skateboard in this game too, versus the bullshit we had to do in the first one where you had to pretend to skateboard. I love this. Flaming turtle! I think that's like a husband and wife gun, yeah. And then we get a bow in this one, dude. It looks so fucking sick.
Yeah, humans are barely sentient. Scientists have done studies, and their brains are like half the size of ours.
Dude, High on Life was such a good game. I definitely want to reinstall this and play through it. I think before we have the other one come out. I'm trying to think what I need to uninstall for this, because this is 59 gigs. What do we need to install? Let's open up Epic Games. Ugh. As much as I want to finish Hogwarts Legacy, I think we'll go ahead and uninstall this one for right now. Just so we can do High on Life, because High on Life 2 is coming out sooner. Oh, yeah. That'll give us 20 extra gigs, too, on top of that. All right. And yes, I always leave Vampire Survivors installed because it's a very small game. And it legitimately will be fun to do whenever I need to just kill some time and whatnot. So... Okay, yeah, it's 163, so it just hasn't refreshed yet.
Oh, yeah. They burnt? A little bit.
Was she making cookies?
Oh, damn.
No, I heated up the fire
Oh, and you burnt the fries?
Let me show you. Let me move.
Yeah, let me see them.
Let me move.
Just a little bit.
Want it?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Love you.
Yeah. You didn't take them. You want them?
Not the burnt ones.
Well,
Don't well me, Missy.
it's floating my hand.
That's whose fault?
This top kind of actually sucks.
Yeah, the Elder Scrolls Online is taking up so much space. All right, I'm gonna install it from the PC, just so I can install it on my my MacBook chat, because it does play on the MacBook as well. But I have a this guy here for the MacBook, my external SSD. So I'll pop that onto that one there. Oh yeah, Quarantine Zone. I do have that. My buddy wants me to play that as well. Where is that at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Oh, right here. Quarantine Zone. Last check. My buddy bought me this, guys. He wants me to play this at some point. I do plan to play this on stream to show it off and whatnot.
Wow.
It looks like a fun game to play.
Why are you so angry?
So gonna wipe out my pipe.
Which needs
I had to use the pipe I had over here last time when I was eating my cheeseburgers.
Wow, Mom. Really? You are some kind of special today. No. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I will say it is nice that the sweet cask, it does have some moisture to it, I guess, because we're pulling out some, but not a lot. So it's nice. It's not like drenching the pipe after a half bowl. I've had a few of these where, like, as soon as you get done smoking, I could dry it out for like 40 minutes and then go to smoke it, and when I smoke it, it still has like a pool of fucking of moisture and everything like that built up. So now I will be wrapping up here in a little bit though, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some cleaning here at the house, and then I will come back to doing some streaming later on. There is a few things I wanted to go over on the cyberpunk stuff too as well, like kind of one of the reasons why we were going back over the game, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that with Cyberpunk 2, we've been talking about like a couple of different discords, forums and stuff like that I've been on, about where is Cyberpunk 2 going to go, right? Where are we going to see it lead to us next? And with the fact that we're going to see a city like Chicago gone wrong, and I actually think it's going to be Chicago we're going to go to. I think he accidentally let it know where we're going to go to is being Chicago. And the fact of that is because there is a lot of advertisement in the game that says Night City, Chicago, train line. And it's supposed to be done by 2077 or 79 or something like that. I'll have to relook in the game. It's supposed to be done by a certain date. That's not far off. And if you think about it, there's a lot to be said about the fact that, the new game is going to have two cities for us to go to, Night City still being the main one. And that's because that Mike Pondsmith himself has always stated that the main character of Cyberpunk is not the characters that we see and we talk to, we meet. It's Night City itself. And Night City itself is a character. And I honestly do believe that CDPR did the best job out of anybody to bring that city to life. It does feel like it's its own character. At times it can feel like maybe it's not fleshed out enough. I'm sure that some people might argue. But I would like to tell you that the game does a really good job of making Night City feel lived in and alive. I know a lot of people bitch about like, well, it doesn't have a day night cycle with every individual citizen. Well, then they wouldn't have as many citizens then. Like the city wouldn't be as alive if you had that many citizens really with that full day and night cycle. I'm just saying it would look really weird. Maybe nowadays they might be able to fucking do it with Cyberpunk 2, but I doubt it. They don't really have them in fucking GTA either, and I don't know why people don't get less upset about that. It's literally the same kind of NPC system as GTA.
Fries really aren't that bad.
I couldn't smell it over the fries for a second there. So speaking of fries, I was like, I can't actually smell it. It smells good though. I like the room note.
What the hell? Bang bang. That's how you get these. You got a 6 and a 7. And then I got a bang bang.
Okay.
What?
All right. I'm getting more of the brown sugar too now. Less of the cinnamon, more of the brown sugar. I like that.
What was it? Oh, just looking through the magazine. Yeah, I kind of thought it was Kamala Harris at first.
That is a solid one though. That is a solid bowl.
The ones that aren't burnt.
Yeah, now we have 310 gigs. It says
I'll try one.
it like double installed
Take the whole thing.
the game. That's what I thought.
You can keep holding it.
That is what I thought. Okay, so it literally double installed Elder Scrolls Online. That's why I lost over fucking 3. Why did it do that?
Oh my god, I have not a drink. What did you drink?
There's frozen water outside.
You have a case of water outside?
Yep.
Yeah, it's been out there. Oh! Whoa. I don't know how I didn't know that.
So we're downloading High on Live Chat, so we get to play that afterwards. We'll do that on the stream a little bit later on. Now again, for this Hearth and Home Midtown Sweet Cask, the verdict on this is, I gotta say, it is definitely a solid. I'd say probably like a 7 or 8 out of 10. It would have been a little bit better if it had maybe a little black Cavendish added to it to give it some more vanilla-like taste. But I could always mix stuff like that in with it. But as for the fact that,
I don't know.
this is legitimately just a good 14 ounces of tobacco that's by Sutliff. It's a good solid blend. It's makes me a little bit less worried about smoking up all my Aaron Go Bragg, because this one is definitely a blended tobacco that I really do dig a lot. Okay, this is just flying over constantly. Oh, so it's still not fully in the fucking thing there. My Mr. Brog pipe. There we go. And it's funny because now all of a sudden it wants to be all like back heavy, and then when it normally wasn't with that one. But yeah, with this guy here, we got a lot of black Cavendish in there. We got a lot of good chunks of tobacco in this one. There's also some like little bits in here too. I've seen, like I'm seeing some of this right here on the top. I'm trying to pull up, at least I should see to the top. There's more of these little tiny pieces. Those make up really good small bowls, things like that. But literally, you got these really beautiful long strands of burley. Got lots of which we call it
Most Mr. Irrelevant. Which one? The old guy with wrinkles? Him. Yep.
It's got just a really good baking spice smell to it and taste, chat. I love this one a lot, so I'm really excited to have the Hearth and Home Sweet Cask. Hey, how's it going there, Cyberfox? Good to have you, brother. Good to have you. Just about to wrap up here in just a little bit. We're just doing a small stream here. We just did an unboxing. Is what we were doing here. We just got in this Hearth and Home Midtown Series Sweet Cask. We just got in, so Snickerdoodle cookie is what we got out of this chat. Look at that beautiful tobacco. Yeah, I saw that. I was going to change it in the title, but I decided not to, but... See the sugar crystals on that one there. Looks so good. Did they say why? Did somebody else fuck it up again? I know Rex was posting the fucking TOS everywhere. I don't know why he was doing that. Wait, was it me? Because I was playing a video game that has copyright music in the background. I didn't turn the copyright music off. So wait a minute, was it me who did that then? Because that shouldn't have caused that. Like, I do it on YouTube all the time and nothing happens from it. Like, I will point that out. That is the dumbest thing. I'm so tired of seeing that constantly be a thing. That people are like, oh, you know, you can't play, you know, a game with music and stuff like that. Now, granted, yes, the music for Cyberpunk is inherently created for Cyberpunk. But if I stream it on YouTube, I don't get a DMCA or a copyright strike from any of the music being played. Because, again, the music's not the focal point, too. You know what I mean? Like, unless that is somebody's stream, like, that's what they're doing. Like, GTA 5, I could see that. Right? Somebody playing GTA 5.
Like Mike.
Yeah, like Lord Mike. And having the music being playing and stuff like that and not really thinking about it. And then the music's not meant for GTA. It's just an assortment of music that's on that radio station. You know what I mean? But even still, I've done that on YouTube and not gotten attacked. Like, it doesn't make sense why it does it with certain sites and it doesn't do it with YouTube. YouTube, which has the biggest copyright detection thing in probably the entire world. Now, if I was to go, like, let's say, like, instead of just like playing the game, right? Like, because like I said, like in GTA, in here, the music in this game is going to be predominantly just mixed music. You know what I mean? You know, that's what's going to be primarily in that. Good to have you in here, Crucial. Good to have you in here. But, like, for instance, when you're playing Cyberpunk, right? The music that's playing in the background is copyright music, but a lot of the music is made just for Cyberpunk. You know, there's, I think, only 2 or 3 songs that play in it, which is Spoiler, I think Holes in the Sun, and a few other ones. Most people play music from Spotify. That could cause a copyright. That I could understand. And I do know that some people have music from radio stations playing in the background. So that's another thing I could see that causing copyright strikes. Because that's why I was curious. Because you say, like, somebody playing a game with copyrighted music, I'm like, but my game has copyrighted music. So I'm like, but YouTube never goes after me. I've played Cyberpunk multiple times. Like the night we were dealing with the retards. You know, and stuff like that. Like, legitimately, we had Cyberpunk music playing in the background. Now, granted, I don't know if it's just because, like, my graphics card sucks or what the fuck is going on, but I've never been able to get the game to play the music without it doing random skips and other things like that. So that might also play into it too. So it's not like, you know, properly playing the music at a certain, like, certain way, so it doesn't let enough of it go through, you know? Yeah, like, I don't know if you ever noticed that, but my music always fucking skips on Cyberpunk. I don't know what it is.
to something, but I think I just went to the bathroom. She did. Okay.
Let's pause that for a second here.
I think we should get a new one. It won't go back on.
Because again, copyright music should not get them in trouble. Nobody really goes after DMCA's anyways, unless you're making it your content, right? Like you're streaming, you're sitting there just doing nothing like this, and music's playing the entire time. You have no camera on, and the music's just playing the entire time, or you claiming that music as your own. I could see that, but most people aren't doing that. You know what I mean? But like right here, the intro itself is copyrighted, and I'm not even joking. Like when this game first came out, before they did that big update to YouTube, let me move over my chats too real quick. Before they did that big update to YouTube, where they actually did the thing where they're like, oh yeah, we're going to change all the detection on it so it doesn't detect things like this and just instantly pull you. You know what I mean? Like we're on YouTube right now. We're on Kick and Rumble as well. Now, when I end this stream later on and I upload this, this should then copyright me. This should effectively be like, oh, you played this game, it had this song playing, that should get copyright, but it doesn't. Metal Gear Solid used to do this to me all the time. Another good example. Every time I played Metal Gear Solid 2 on stream, Harry Gregson Williams, that, as much as I love his music, that fucker would start to copyright you every time you played Metal Gear Solid on stream. So you had to play the game with no music. Do you know how boring it is to play Metal Gear Solid with no music? Like, the music's like Doom, right? That would be like Mick Gordon telling you can't play, 2016 Doom without being copyrighted. There's no fucking way you would do it. There's no way it would be streamed. There's no way it would be streamed, right? But you can go into here, sound, right? Disable copyrighted music. Your music, for the most part of the game, is just silence. That's all you get. That's why I don't do that. I think it's the fucking dumbest thing in the world. Like, I'm just going to make an example of this too, because I don't want somebody at Flashy to get in trouble if they were just basically doing what I'm doing, or if it ends up being me that got us in trouble, which makes no fucking sense whatsoever. So that's why I want to make sure we put this as an example in here, chat. Like, music like this, anything like this in the background, right? Oh, it's not gonna... Let me see here. Because I know there's radios that'll be playing music in here. Illegal as fuck caliber. Alright, I came in at the right time for that one. We got small caliber, big caliber, illegal as fuck caliber. Music playing right now? That would be copyrighted. Okay, let's go to a radio station.
Not enough. Gotta make power moves too, you know?
What? Hold on, Woody.
Oh, so yeah, he'll play out.
If you're hearing this, you've come to the
Once he's done talking, we're gonna go look for another radio.
CPD, gang wars, not in Dogtown. Taxes, who the fuck needs them? In Dogtown,
Right?
I keep your business safe as long as you abide by my rules. Sound fair to you? I thought so. Yeah.
Like all these sounds are all copyrighted. There's the guys that make the game right there. The CDPR guys themselves. He actually stepped down, but that was the one of the head dudes of CDPR, and that was one of the other developers right there.
All night,
I told you to stop. Feel you. Go for a day, two, and then boom. Gonk out on you.
Trying to figure where that is coming. Right here. This music right here, it's copyrighted. YouTube's not gonna do shit about this. I'm not making this the main point of the fucking game. I'm just playing the game. So, what part of that is the problem? Okay? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the 100% crux, too. Yeah. So, this dude right here and this guy right here, these are both developers. This was the head of CDPR. So, dude, that's what I mean. Dude, Hideo Kojima, the guy who made Metal Gear Solid, he's also in the game. Oh my gosh. Dude, I don't know why it's lagging so much right now, my my laptop. Oh, the VR mod was taken down by CD Projekt Red. Oh, that sucks. Wonder why. Somebody must have fucked it up.
This is Kurt Hansen. If you're hearing this, you've come to the right place. NCPD, gang wars, not in Dogtown.
Okay. Trying to do that so it stops that a little bit there.
Taxes, who the fuck needs them? In Dogtown, I keep your business safe as long as you abide by my rules. Sound fair to you? I thought so.
Alright, we're waiting for the results to come in here, chat. Fucking the Milfgard ad playing in the background, I can hear.
What's your problem?
Oh yeah, there's the secret dev room. I'm just gonna have to do it later on. This is lagging too hard because I'm trying to download a game and play a game at the same time, all that stuff like that, which I paused the fucking download, but it still fucks up the internet.
So, the Middle East.
But my whole point still remains, though. Like, I'm going around here, doing all this stuff. We're hearing all these musics, all these different sounds. All this shit is copyrighted, and none of it is going to get me in trouble with YouTube. So if somebody's doing what I'm doing, and they're doing that on Flashy, then there's nothing wrong with that. Now, if they're doing what I think somebody might have done to piss them off, which effectively would just be they played fucking music on their stream, like you said, like through Spotify, something like that. Yeah. You know, while they're playing a game. Definitely. I can see that. 100%. Like, remove those assholes. You know what I mean? Like, that's a big thing, right? But if you are just actively playing a game that YouTube itself would not actually give you a copyright strike on, then that needs to be, like, halted. Because, again, it's like, treat it like YouTube. Simple. You know, and that's my biggest thing. I think just treat it like YouTube and it'll all be fine. You know what I mean? So. But yeah, they also have the developers though in a few other places though too.
Your mouth is overloading your ass, and I'm tired of it.
I'm tired of that being heard on stream. So this gets real fucking old hearing that on there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start fucking trying to figure out something to do with the filters or to do something again because OBS I didn't have this issue with Meld. I had this issue. Every sound in this house comes through there, and I again like I shouldn't have to constantly be like, hey, if like she needs to like do discipline or whatever the case is, it shouldn't have to be like, hey, don't fucking do it or say it loud enough. That means it's not like because again, somebody takes out of context on a fucking audio wise, it's just not gonna do anything fucking good. So yeah. It's just going to cause more issues than fucking solving issues. So, and I just really do not want to deal with that bullshit. So we got to figure out something with those filters or something like that. Again, I wish Meld would just have a better, easier way to fucking block out like certain audio and everything like that. Like legitimately, like otherwise I have to turn out the microphone like this, and then I got to be like this up close to it so that way nothing else can be heard. And she's still getting at a normal level, and I can still see my microphone thing still picking it up. That's what I mean. I shouldn't have to worry about that. They shouldn't have to fucking worry about talking at a certain level because it's being bled into my microphone constantly. Like, this is starting to get kind of old. So. So yeah, I don't know what else to do about it other than to just close my door. I guess that's probably the other thing I can do is probably have to close my door during every fucking stream as well, which is also annoying too. So it's really dumb that I had to do all these extra things just to fucking stop all that excess noise. So. And if I had the right foam for it, I could just try to build a little box around the microphone that might fucking help. But literally, I had this on the smallest dot on the fucking microphone right now, and they can still be heard. Like, I don't. How does my voice sound on here right now? Does it sound too quiet? That's it turned all the way off. It sounds fine. I'm surprised it sounds fine. So now I have it turned all the way down. This is literally at 0 on the microphone. That is now not picking up back there. So, but again, I need to be up this close though for it to sound a little bit louder though too. Yeah, no, literally, look at this. That's maxed. This is on 0. That is where I have it at right now. And now it probably sounds more like an actual cardioid microphone though, with it being that low, so it's not boosting the gain. So that's the only thing I can think of. Does that help? Does it still sound good with the microphone? Because now they're not being picked up at all. You need to fix your mic too. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. What I hate though is like we have to constantly keep doing shit like this just to mitigate issues of like these natures. So let me go to my stream now on. Use Kick here. Pull up my stream so I can hear myself. Okay, so I gotta say, I think the sound's actually fairly decent just with it being on 0. Like, there's no gain to my microphone. It's just the actual Meld, I think, Magic Mic, whatever it is. The microphone actually sounds better, I think. I actually think this sounds better, chat, compared to what we've had in the past. Like, compared to, let's say, like, right here. This is where I would normally have it set. So let's see what it sounds like now. As see, now I can hear the background noises way more. Yeah, so you can hear those background. Yeah, so you can hear them talking, you hear the coughing, all that stuff. If I turn down like here, my voice is no longer booming. But then then I actually have to be closer to the microphone. Now, when I'm closer to the microphone, let's see what it sounds like. I'm listening to it through. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like now, let's see here. Now with being closer to the microphone, let's see what it sounds like, so I can hear myself through kick. And see, that's what you're supposed to be like. This is about how close you should be to your microphone, about an inch or two away. If you're going to be doing actual recording and voice recordings and things like that, because you want it to be as close to to your mouth. Uh, you have the same issue. the the only other thing to do is to build an actual box that's got the noise proofing foam around it, that does top, side, and back, and you put it in your microphone in there, and you do a little cutout so the cord can go in there as well, right? You put that right there, and you put it around it, and then that should be what you have for your microphone. It will actually stop all the noises coming from in and around it, but it also, when you're talking into it, it also silences and like stuffs it down so that people around you won't hear it as loud either too. This was the first time I've been able to talk and do a stream like this while I'm still hearing myself talk in the background because of that delay. So that way I can hear what you guys are hearing and make sure that the sound of the stream is still sounding good and crystal clear. Let's see, where's my vape? There's my vape. The other thing too is like every time I'd hit my vape, this would come through really loud. See, that doesn't sound as bad too. You have suppression on. So if you're just using meld, how do you do suppression? Because I don't have any of that on here. I have just magic mic. So there's just a magic mic level. I can do moderate. Let me do very high. All right, so this is very high on magic mic. There's automatic gain control too. Let's see what that does here. Are you using voice mod? Okay. See, okay, that makes my voice sound definitely louder. But dude, that literally though feels like it's louder, not in a good way though. All right, let's turn off the automatic gain control and see what it's with the magic mic being on just very high. So I can still hear noises in the background, right? All right, so we do low and then we do automatic gain control. But see, here's the problem with automatic gain control: it just shoots up like super high. Like, listen how loud it's about to sound. You hear that? That's very loud compared to when I just had it. And see, I can hear them in the background too more. All right, we have it on high for Magic Mike. So I'm no longer hearing it as much now. No, I can still hear her voice. I can still hear my mother's voice clear as day through the fucking microphone still. Even at 0. What the fuck, man? This is what I mean. Like, I shouldn't have to sit here and dictate everybody's speech and be like, "Hey, you guys can't talk that loud. Just lower your like." I shouldn't have to do that.
Five and a half inches.
Oh, jeez, so that's right. Well, no, that might be about right because we were judging it from. Oh, that's why. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and like literally, there's nothing moving. By the way, I'm staring at this because I'm watching the mic level go to zero, like nothing moving. Yet you're hearing them still. This makes no sense. I do not know how to fucking fix this. Like, I literally don't know how to fix that issue.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay.
It's a soviet.
Like, legitimately, it's such a weird thing. It's such a weird concept. Like, it literally.
Yeah, because that's why it was off. My dot is off is because we were doing it like this. So we were measuring from this point to this point. Well, I hope he doesn't get x-rays. No, he says chest front and back. I need to go get x-rays and make sure it's not pneumonia. Because it's all the running around and shit he does.
Yeah. Literally had something stuck in between my tooth there. But and I feel like this is one thing with dogs barking, because like I feel like we can all understand having a dog and barks, things like that. But like most people don't want to sit there and have other people's conversations like in the background constantly bleeding in, so that way you're like, distracted by what's being said. You know what I mean? Like it'll distract people from what I'm saying because then everybody's gonna hear what they're saying. So then it's like, wait, well, who am I listening to?
Where the heck is that damn ruler we've had? Isn't there a ruler in there?
No,
All these chump things.
they give you a phone tool. They give you a little bill. They give you a phone calories. They give you.
Yeah, we use the ruler on our we use the measurement app thing on our phone.
Yeah, that's what we were trying.
We all use that.
Remember, the only reason why it says 5 is because we're doing it. That is done without.
Okay.
this.
There. I had something stuck in my tooth. I could not get it out, chat. I just got it out finally. Fuck. It was driving me insane this entire time, too.
It says 5 inches. 5 inches.
So this is cached. That's the other thing I like about this bowl is that, at least from this from the Sweet Town Midtown Cask, or Sweet Cask by Midtown, Hearth and Home, is that it's a lot like a lot of the other over the counter ones, because this used to be an over the counter style tobacco that you would just find at a lot of your local places and stuff. You know, they would have just sold this let's say a Rite Aid or whatever, and you would have walked in, your grandpa would have walked in and grabbed a tub of it and walked out. That's literally how this used to be with these tobaccos. And of course, I ended up fucking tilting this upside down, forgetting that there's moisture in there, and it spilt all over into the bowl piece there. So now I gotta make this a little bit smaller. Also, yeah, the other thing too, the reason I was playing through Cyberpunk as much as I was too, is that there's also that whole idea of like the fact that Night Corp is picking up champions, kind of like Yaiba is doing as well with the Muramasa, and I wanted to talk about that and kind of show that like the details of all these little subtleties that kind of are showing us where we're gonna go with possibly with Cyberpunk 2 and what we might be facing. Are we gonna be facing the deluge of AI from the Black Wall, or are we going to be facing the gray goo from the self-replicating mines out in the sea? You know, there's all kinds of things that I'm really curious to see uh, what's going to go with Cyberpunk 2. You know, and it's supposedly it's all being still set in the year 2077. So as far as I've heard, it's still within that time era, and that a lot of people are saying that it's actually going to be going in conjunction with V at the time. So some of the story is going to be like, oh, this would have been happening at the same time V was doing this thing, and then afterwards, this is where this is when the story starts to diverge from that, that point. So that's at least what I've heard from some people and some of the leaks and reports about the work that's being done right now on the game. And all I gotta say is it makes me hopeful. It makes me hopeful that we're gonna get a really badass game for a sequel, because it's gonna be really hard to try to capture that lightning in a bottle to make the sequel better than the first. But being as that, I feel like CDPR has always been one of those companies that like their sequels are always better than their original. That I can't wait for the sequel to Cyberpunk, because literally Witcher 3 was the best version of Witcher, and that took years. Oh yeah, I wasn't thinking about using like the voice mod because I've always had issues with voice mod not working properly or not wanting to like set up properly through my shit. So I've never really used it like that. But I have thought about maybe giving it another shot. Uh, and maybe I will, because Mel doesn't have like background noise cancellation, all that other crap like that we kind of need. Uh, which is what I think what bothers me is like it should already be built into Meld. Like as much as that there's all these good things in there. How's it going, yogurt? Like all these other things that normally is built into Meld already. Meld's got a lot of great systems built into it. She doesn't know. No more moisture buildup or anything like that in the stem. I gotta say too, the Hearth and Home definitely has a much more sweeter taste though than the Aaron Go Bragg apple crumble. And even though they're both by Sutliff, this one definitely has a much more sweeter taste, and I would assume that to be the case because of the name, Sweet Cask, and it has a great smell to it as well. Like it literally smells like a sugar cookie, and you can see the sugar crystals on a lot of this tobacco too, chat. Like it might be hard to see this on this camera. I'm trying to bring this as close as possible, but that leaf, you see that like frosting on it? That's the sugar crystals that's actually on there. It's crazy to see that on tobacco like that. And it's bright burley and bright Virginias mixed together too, and then topped and cased. It's funny too, because it looks like some of the stuff on the top was definitely from the bottom of it. There's lots of little pieces at the very, very top. This is packed all the way to the top of that, though. I love that. You don't get many tubs of tobacco that are just packed like that. And this is going to be a great tub to use for storing tobacco in later on, chat, because it's got a nice seal on it, too. Really nice seal. But as I said, I wanted to wrap up this video, sparking up the cigar. So I'm going to smoke the cigar, and then we're going to get into cleaning up the rest of the house. And then I will be back live shortly after that. But we got this beautiful Zarahemla by Apostate Cigars. It's a box press. We're gonna need to do a V cut.
That thing. Yeah. So that's 5.
It's like when you're counting acres.
All right.
Okay, so
We got a little cross going on in there.
I think it's just my eyes are old. Straw. I need a straw.
Ah,
Straw.
stuck in my fucking hand there.
No.
You know what? Actually, I think the AJ Fernandez torch would be better because it's got a smaller, not as big of a cigar. So this is probably a better one to use for something like this. Again, hold it about an inch away from the flame.
Yeah, because that would be the size. That would be the size. And then, so we still gotta do it past that in the middle.
Or just give it a nice toasting on the front of it, chat.
Green, purple. Whoa. There you go. It's not really perfectly. That is so long as you get it now. Like so. Yeah, that looks a lot better than what it did. Okay.
Okay.
Because in the other one we could just I have small nails. We could just nail it in and then bend the nail. Yeah, make sure it goes from like there to perfect. And then if it does on the other side, then we're good.
That's a great tasting cigar.
It is.
You get graham cracker notes like that.
We had the right
Literally, as if I just took a graham cracker and bit it like that.
I would beat you into oblivion.
So yes, that is very comfortable. If you want, do we have to use this?
No, those are for wheels.
Do you want us to use this?
So you can make like a little go kart, or not go kart, but like a little race car. Yeah. So, but it's really dumb that they only gave you 3. Apparently, they think people should have a tricycle because it would go
Okay.
something to the effect,
Okay. Okay.
you know, and then little.
This one's been aged a couple days after buying it, so I've let it kind of sit outside of a humidor to see how it tastes a little bit drier. This is actually it tastes a little bit better drier.
To be able to go through your board if you had a 6-piece, you know.
We need to make the whole thing, so.
That's a quality cigar right there, chat. That's a quality cigar. Like, when I buy a cigar, I want to taste as good as the profile says it's going to taste, you know. And this is a box press. It's a 54 by 5.5. So the ring gauge is going to be a 54, and it's about 5.5 inches long. I guess the Zarahemla by Apostate Cigars. It is an absolute delicious box press. I'm a big fan of box press cigars. I tend to like these over Robustos or usually a few other ones like that. The one Robusto we had the other day by them, the Deseret. Actually, it's in my ashtray still right now. It's had quite a few ashes all over it too. So got that little like yellow band in there. That's the Deseret. That right there, that's a good cigar. Don't get me wrong. Really do like that. It's Robusto, but it's nowhere near as good as this one.
No, we can. I mean, we can do it tomorrow. Like in the morning.
It's got a lot of great flavor. It's exotic tasting. And the filler, the binder, and the wrapper all come together in this very creamy, very, very rich note as well. The retrohale gave me a nice kind of allspice, baking spice kind of taste. Cinnamon-like quality there. Again, a lot of like confectionery taste. I have a lot of tobaccos in. Like I tend to like my tobaccos that have like that natural tobacco flavor that makes it that way. But if they're topped or cased and stuff like that, I don't mind that as well. You know, even if my cigars, I'm probably one of the few people out there that doesn't mind just smoking a cigar no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's cased or not. You know, or if it's just pure tobacco flavor.
So then all we have to do now is, yep, I'll find the filter. And then
I gotta say too, one of the other things that makes me really love the Zarahemla is the consistency of the smoke and the draw. I've never had one of these where I'm like, damn it, I need to ream that thing. You know, I gotta take a screwdriver or something like that and shove it through the middle of this to give it a good airflow hole. This is just always a proper fucking cigar every fucking time. Okay, smoke it like this a little bit still, just because it's got canoeing going on a little bit. The room note. It's like an incense, right? It literally smells like I've just lit some incense and stuffed them in a burner somewhere and just let it kind of, create an atmosphere in the actual room itself. And it's just such a divine smell that truly unlocks something within inside you that just goes, yeah, that's a good smell. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to put your finger on it. It's about as even as you can be on a box press too. You know, and there's just something about smoking cigars like this too that's just it's therapeutic. It's relaxing, it's enjoyable. And again, tobacco like this is a high quality tobacco. This isn't, ghetto tobacco that's rolled in like a cigarillo like, my grape Cheyennes. These are not good cigars. The fact that they call them cigars is the disgrace. These are cigarillos.
okay, so that was her. That was her when she went up, right? White accent.
Mm. Mm. It's just such a good quality smoke. It relaxes the body, relaxes the mind, relaxes the soul. It allows you to be like, feel more peaceful, I feel more relaxed, And I think ultimately a lot of people kind of like get it crossed in their head that as soon as you smoke, tobacco, that you're just gonna get cancer and all this other stuff like that. No, it's these chemicals that they spray in their tobaccos of these companies like that get you cancer. Smoking a cigar or a pipe is not going to give you cancer. Not like that. Chewing tobacco probably give you mouth cancer because of the fucking bullshit they put in that. Chewing tobacco has a ton of different fucking chemicals in it too. It's also got fiberglass in some of them too. Like a lot of those old wintergreen ones or menthol ones, they would have a lot of like fiberglass added to it to give it that cold feeling. It was really just cutting the shit out of your lip.
So 608 days.
Still have some Carter Hall loaded in my one pipe. My Zulu. Mm. It's a good quality smoke, definitely. You know, and it's another thing too that I want more people to understand that pipe smoking, cigar smoking, and things like that, even vaping for that matter, it's all different than smoking a cigarette. You know, it's not the same. You know, they shouldn't be treated the same. They're not nowhere near on the same levels as something as disgusting as a factory made cigarette that's made by Philip Morris or RJ Reynolds that is literally designed just to kill you. You know, these are designed for you to relax and enjoy your fucking day.
I'm a normal human being. I know. So my brain is not, I do forget things. And it's not all.
And smoking high grade, quality, premium tobacco is things that have been done since the Native Americans, you know, biblical times even. Since pretty much the invention of clay pipes. You know, people used to use magnifying glasses or lenses to, you know, combust their bowls, or they'd use like, you know, the same flame from like a candle or a torch to use for their bowls and stuff like that back in those old days. You know, a lot of people would do a lot of these simple things. You know, they would dry out tobaccos and use them for all kinds of different, you know, herbal remedies and stuff. You know, tobacco has always been used in our country, especially here in America, for so many different things. And it's more so recently that we started to really kind of like get this hatred for it, that we started to, you know, demonize a plant that didn't deserve the demonization that it got.
I saw part of it.
The main part of the demonization for it is that you have people that have had family members die of, like, you know, nicotine use or tobacco use, they claim. And it's not. It's the chemicals that are in those cigarettes that person or that in that chew that person used that led to their death, not the tobacco itself. You know, you think about a lot of those old movies and old timey like videos you see of like these, you know, like elderly you know, Asian men that would always see, like the old Chinese guys, so like that with those really long pipes in their old shops. You know, sitting there smoking. You're like, that dude lived to be like 90 years old. How the fuck did he do it? Oh, it's just his diet. Well, he smoked though the entire time. You're gonna tell me as long as I have a good diet, I can smoke? It's like, no, that doesn't. Well, what did he do? It's like, because he's smoking a pipe. He's not smoking cigarettes. He's smoking a pipe. It's like, that's the key difference.
Well, because I remember there was something. It's cool. We'll get everything cleaned up tomorrow. We'll have a fun project to see if we can fix this little thing. I mean, I'm sure we can.
I'm gonna chat. We're gonna take this a small break.
Yeah, but we would have to have a really
Do a little cleaning here, and then we'll be back. And we'll do some gaming here.
Yeah. We'd have to find like the perfect permanent spot for it. And here, well,
You know, and honestly, I think I've grown into being a tobaccophile as well. Something much like Mark Twain was. Mark Twain once smoked 40 cigars a day. You know, that was his once habitual habit that he had. You know, and that's about where I'm at with pipe bowls. I smoke probably close to, you know, 10 to 15 pipe bowls a day. Like from the time I wake up to the time I usually go to bed, I have been smoking all day long. So there is something to be said about using that much tobacco all day, every day. You know, there is a point to which I think that a lot of us view that type of lifestyle as like a dirty lifestyle, things like that. And that's where I want to try to use these videos and these streams and the uploads I plan to do here to make it known to you guys that it's not. It's not a dirty habit. It's not like people have portrayed it to be for so many years. The biggest thing that you can, really urge people to do is to educate themselves on tobacco. There's a lot of misconceptions out there. And a lot of those same studies that they want to claim that are there to, protect you are the same studies that literally said that it's okay to ingest a shit ton of caffeine, sugar, and all this other stuff. But yet, tobacco's the demon. Think about that for a second. The same people that are saying it's okay to drink that much booze as well. And booze isn't like booze used to be. Booze used to be truly a spirit, a thing that you made that was going to allow you to relax at the end of the day, to enjoy your time, to enjoy life just a little bit more. Those were things that were meant to be used as amplifications or to nurse a wound, things like that. Instead, people use them to drown their sorrows or just to get overtly drunk as possible, when that was never the intention of what that creation of that booze was.
It's Australia, not British.
And there is something to be said about when you go into a room full of people smoking cigars and pipes, and the atmosphere that they will bring, the conversations that they will be talking about, the level of intrigue that is there as well. It's very much a thinking man's, or a thinking person's a place, because women can smoke pipes and cigars as well. And I think it's actually great when you see that as well too, because it's like it opens it up to just being like it's not just a guy's hobby or not just a guy's thing. Plenty of women will do it as well. And it's just about finding that quality smoke. And there are people that, whereas like I'm in my 30s now, there's people that have been doing this for, since their 20s or even their teens, like 18, 19, when it was legal to still smoke around that age. And then they're now further along in their cigar and pipe smoking, journey, that they would be closer to that level of being a master of it than, me being a noob right now. That's where I'm at. I'm a noob still in this area of learning all these things, but I want to be able to help present this information that I've learned as well over this short time to others, so that your journey can also be a lot easier, a lot more enjoyable. So that way you're more able to enjoy the tobaccos and the experiences and less dealing with the bullshit. Because that's honestly what I think we could all deal with less. Because I think that a lot of us don't think about how much bullshit we're dealing with daily, and then until it actually like lands in our lap and you're like, damn, I got a lot of bullshit to deal with. So in order to take back from all that, again, the world will try to take so much from you. So how can you take back from that? Well, smoke a cigar, smoke a pipe. It is your way to say fuck you to everything else and say, I'm going to have my time. I'm going to enjoy reflecting upon myself, reflecting upon my actions, my thoughts, and my words. And at the same time, I'm going to think about how could I do this better? How can I be a better person, be a better, whatever. How can I enact things better in my community? All these different things. You can do all of that. You could solve the world's problems with just a couple cigars and a pipe bowl. You know, and then to watch the smoke swirl and dance around in the area, it's such a beautiful thing to watch too. You know, there's a lot to be said about the therapy that is smoking. You know, that's one of the reasons why I still have a hookah. You know, I smoke a hookah because I enjoy the fact that I can just load up a bowl, sit there on my hose, and smoke on it. And the entire time I'm playing a game or watching a movie, I'm gonna have a great time. You know, it's great to share with friends when they come over. Take a couple of hits, pass it off. Take a couple of hits, pass it off. Take a couple of hits, pass it off. You know, same thing. It's a fun experience to be able to share with friends and share with other people, and to do in general. You know, smoking should be something that is fun, relaxing, social, you know, atmospheric.
I mean, that's literally stupid.
Like, legitimately, when I think of the the problems that most people have of trying to just find a way to get themselves peace and some tranquility time,
Oh, yes.
and they haven't tried doing something like smoke a cigar or a pipe because they're like, oh, that's a disgusting habit. It's like,
Okay, and how many people
but
actually sit and
do you really know? Like, do you really know what kind of habit it is? Because if you think it's that disgusting, I urge you to really give it a shot, and then come and talk to people about it. Because I think that if you can open your eyes to how enjoyable it can be, I think that would actually squash a lot of problems with people's belief in tobacco.
the serpent is on the thing, and Moses says those who look at it in faith are healed. Those who deny it, stupidity. It really is.
Of the hall. It's the people hall in the back.
Cigar rings is what that's called. I like that. It's a cigar band, but they call it a cigar ring.
I mean,
And it has like probably a tailpipe
It's supposed to be the biblical text writing of Zarahemla, and then it's got the name the Zarahemla.
yeah, that and the sad part though is there's so many people that would believe that.
The lens is a fisheye lens. It's gonna look like that.
Wow, unbelievable. That I truly don't understand people sometimes.
All right, chat. We're gonna go ahead, wrap here. I'm gonna finish up my cigar, get some cleaning done. Be back in a couple hours. We'll be back around probably like 9 or 10. We'll be live, play some Cyberpunk. Probably do a little bit of a High on Life as well, and then I will be live tomorrow at a little bit earlier time. Probably more likely around the afternoon after we get a little bit more cleaning done in the morning, and then we'll be back to take care of all that. So I'll see you guys back here then, chat.